What's up, Beer League hockey fans and fellow dumpers? Welcome to another Dump and Skate podcast. I'm the head bender and decrepit player, ball buster, Jeremy. This is way past my bedtime, Abdu. With me, as always, and I know you guys want a weight update, 188 with the Alfredo, the man that makes this podcast possible, lead producer, the guy with a face for podcasting and a body that only someone from my 600-pound life would want, Jeremy, the very white lightning Usain Bolt Holland.
That was a good one. What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all shapes, sizes, and flavors? Welcome in again to the Dump and Skate podcast. We're super excited you guys are here. Before we go any farther, if you have not already, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, follow us on all of our social medias, all of that stuff. We need the more followers, the more people it gets to. We've seen a lot of the recent social media posts. Some of the short reels and things have been getting a lot of views. So we really, really appreciate that. Keep it up. The more you like it, the more you subscribe to it, the more it gets advertised out to other people. So, sorry, your background's throwing me off a little bit today.
So for the people that listen to our podcast religiously, you will know about the egg incident in Jacksonville. So we have a guest today that was a big part of not only getting shelled with the team, but shelled with the eggs. So I made my background scrambled eggs just for this podcast.
Yeah, with a little bit of pepper on there. Hopefully not too much salt, or it might not sit very well with me. So you want to go ahead and kick that intro that you've got, and we'll bring him on in.
All right, sure. We have another return guest, a Savannah Beer League administrator, A-League and 40-plus league achiever, the Gordon Ramsay of scrambled eggs, and the pretzel bun king, Andy Ponton. What's up, my dude?
Oh, sorry. I'm still stretching from that pounding in Jacksonville. Still really sore.
You know what? That's good. Everyone on Spotify people can see exactly what you did. It made sense to them. Make sure that if you're listening to Spotify and or the Apple, look at that picture in Andy's screen, because he moved it around just for the people that listen to the streaming podcast that don't have cameras or video.
The picture I am pointing at that you can't see. Best hockey player in the world.
He had to move that around just for the camera's sakes.
Just picture Jeremy Holland, and it's basically that same thing. Yeah.
Oh man! Speaking
up,
of
Andy?
How are you, buddy?
I'm good. I've thoroughly digested what happened this past weekend. I've determined that we all basically need to just not suck, and then we would have done a lot better. So yeah,
I agree. That was not sucking would have been a lot better. I went and picked up my kids from church tonight, and one of the folks that was there that knew that we had taken the trip, she was like, "Well, how was Jacksonville?" I said, "Oh yeah, no, it was all right. Like, we lost a lot." And she was like, "We lost a lot." She saw the pictures that Sarah had posted of like the pool and everything, and she was like, "What do you mean lost a lot?" I said, "Well, I was playing hockey while we were there." She goes, Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I was like, yeah, apparently we forgot that too.
I totally thought we were going to the beach.
You should have said the weather was great. How was Jacksonville? Oh, the weather was great. Just leave it at that.
Felt really good until we played hockey, and then after we played hockey, it felt okay. You know,
the best part was the conversation after the games about whose pulse got the highest on our watches. You know, that was the positive.
So do you understand how to read your Apple Watch now when you use it?
Yeah. Actually, today when I was in the middle of Planet Fitness doing box jumps, to the chagrin of everybody that was in there, I got my pulse up to 165. Felt good about it.
On box jumps, all right, good.
Yeah. They have a little platform, and I just said,
"Did you set off the lunk alarm?"
Have you ever set off the alarm?
Abdu has a story about setting off the lunk alarm.
I set it off twice.
All right, let's hear it.
Have you ever been there when it's been off?
No. I just see all their "we accept everybody" signs, and then the big sign. Well, here's the people we don't accept. So
you know how they I don't know how your Planet Fitness is, but I've been to like 3 or 4 of them, and their dumbbells all go up to like 70 pounds.
max, yeah.
Um, so I was using like the 55 pounds or something like that. Right, it was right below the alarm. And you know, sometimes when you don't put on the dumbbells right when you re-rack them, if you put them on crooked and they fall, you know, I didn't re-rack them right and they fell, and it just goes wah wah wah. So then I was telling my friend, "Hey, look, I set off the alarm." Like, "No, you didn't." And I go, "Yeah, I did." And I was like, "Yeah, there was a guy also set it off. He was grunting in the background." And they're like, "No way." And it's like, "Yeah, watch this." And it's go, "Ugh!" And it goes, "Woo, woo!" And it just set off the alarm. And they're like, "Sir, you gotta leave. You gotta leave." So, those
So
are my two
I
stories.
feel a little less secure about going there, knowing that it can be triggered by a loud noise.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it is. It's the alarm. Okay, from what I understand is, you know, Planet Fitness is supposed to be like a no judgment. They don't want to have like bodybuilders such as a first place champion like me, or some guy
Double
that's
right.
just running all the gear like Cooch there, and just
Oh gosh.
pushing weights like heavy weights. So they just don't want that kind of stuff there. So they have the alarm there, because when you're pushing heavy weights, you're going to just be grunting.
So it's a gym. So it's a gym with very few weights.
It is. It really is. It's basically a it's a curves is what it is.
I was going to say
It's a
it's an
curves.
aerobics. It's an aerobics gym.
It's a
They don't want
curves that
anybody in there
they
that
allow
actually
men.
works out.
They allow men there. There's no. I don't know. I've never been to a Crunch Fitness where they have actual benches. Like they have them all on the squat racks, so you don't have free weight bench areas. Is yours like that? You don't have a bench rack, do you?
No, it's the same way. There's
Yeah.
a couple just open benches you can do dumbbells, but
Well,
other than that, they just have the racks.
that explains why your first game, your heart rate was only like 150. Because you go to a
He's
Planet
going to an aerobics gym.
Planet
He's,
Fitness.
he's going to taking self-defense
goes to-
classes in Taekwondo.
He goes to Jazzercise.
As hard as they will allow me to. You have to understand that.
Jazzercise does have a
circuit.
circuit area, though. They have that circuit area. I'm surprised you didn't get pinched for doing box jumps.
Well, I went in the back. I tried to be quiet.
Mhm.
But
You're
the circuit
okay. I'm
area-
doing box jumps, but it's on the toilet in the bathroom, so no one can hear me. Like, is that what you... I'm doing box jumps, but it's in the locker room and the dressing room. You know, I'm jumping on the bench in there,
He's in the bathroom jumping up and down on the
and
toilet.
then some guy's in the bathroom, and he just hears a
All
ooh,
over.
ooh. Here's Andy. Ooh.
They're like,
Ooh.
what was that grunt? It could be
Ooh.
a couple things. I don't know.
Hey, judgment-free zone. You don't tell me what to do in the bathroom. Oh gosh. Speaking of bathrooms at Planet Fitness, I think I told you this story, Abdu. The only time I've ever been inside of a Planet Fitness, there's the one here. Is there only the one in Savannah that's right over there by the old Sam's Club, or it's next to the like trampoline park, right? Is that the one you go to, Andy?
No,
Or is there
so there's
another one?
that one. There's one in
Okay.
Eisenhower. There's one in Victory Drive. And that's where I go.
All right.
All
So
right,
the
all
one,
the guys listening are going to start going to Victory Drive
Victory
just to
Drive
watch
would find Andy.
Ponton do box bath.
look through the window.
That
Look
is
through the
my
window.
goal.
Look through the
Judgment
window.
free. They're going to take. All right, here.
Andy,
Go ahead and take the videos.
Andy and some Lululemon yoga pants in there doing box jumps.
Hopefully, those don't rip like his hockey pants did.
It's the only place I can wear them where I'm not judged.
That's right. Oh, man. You can wear it in the locker room. We won't judge you, I promise. So yeah, we were at the trampoline park with my kids, and their computers were dragging and stuff. It was taking forever, and I forget what was going on. But out of nowhere, this is going to come. If you know me, this is going to come as a huge shock. But like out of nowhere, I was like, I've got to go to the bathroom. Like I've got to take a poop like right now. And so Abdu, well, Andy, you know this too. Like I don't discriminate. Like I'll run around the back of the building and poop behind the building. I can care less. It makes everyone I know very uncomfortable. But I'm like, I don't care. I'll open the door and poop in the parking lot if I have to. If I got to go, I'm going on the ground, not in my pants. And so we're getting closer to the front. We're trying to get signed in and everything. And my wife is beginning to get frustrated because it's a big group of people. And it's just, she doesn't do good in like big crowds. And she's got some social anxiety and stuff that really gives her a fit. And so she's kind of dependent on me. She's like, you got to get the kids signed in. Well, I'm like, I got to run to the restroom really quick. And so right about the time I say that, an employee comes walking out of the bathroom. She's like, none of the bathrooms are working. I don't know what's wrong, but all the toilets are not. I'm like, oh gosh. And so now I go into a hot panic because I don't know if you've ever been like somewhere where you're like, I got to go to the bathroom and the bathroom is right there. Maybe I can run in and use the bathroom. And then they tell you that bathroom is closed. All of a sudden, the poop feeling
100 times worse.
Yeah, 100 times worse. Like the urgency level got ratcheted up so high, it was ridiculous. And so I looked at my wife and I was like, hey, look, don't freak out. I got to go find a bathroom really quick. She was like, you can't leave me. And I said, honey, the computer is clearly like crashing. I'll be right back. So right next door is a Planet Fitness. I go walking next door and I step in the door and I'm like, hey, look, he's like, hey, membership card. I was like, I don't have one of those. Like, clearly I'm not in workout clothing.
You should have just pooped right there. There's my membership card. I got to go.
No, I was trying to do that. So I looked at the guy. I was like, look, man, I'm next door with my kid at the trampoline park. I was like, they just told us all their bathrooms aren't working. I said, I really just need to use your bathroom. The guy looks at me. He's like, well, bathrooms are technically for members only. And I said, yeah, no, obviously I completely understand that, pal. Like, and I'm not going to run next door and like advertise, hey, everybody, if you need to poop, go over to Planet Fitness. But I was like, I just got to go to the bathroom. Like, I've got to go really bad, dude. Please let me just walk to your bathrooms. And the guy, like, he sits there and debates about it for a good 60 seconds. He's like, okay, fine. It's fine. It's dead. I don't know if you've ever been in that Planet Fitness, Andy, but the bathroom was like a half-mile walk from the front door. I didn't think I was going to, I thought I was going to poop in my pants just from the front desk to the bathroom. It was so far away. And so sure enough, again, I'm the only guy in like non-workout clothes. I make it into the bathroom, drop it like it's hot, full-blown Brendan Robertson, leave the bathroom.
Did you see the post? Did you see the post today, Andy?
No.
Leave the bathroom, walk by the guy at the front desk. I'm like, thanks again, buddy. He's like, So get back over there. And just as planned, my wife is not even up to the computer yet. We're still standing there waiting to get into the trampoline park. So it was a disaster of a day at the trampoline park, but at least I didn't poop in my pants. I felt really good about that. So thanks, Planet Fitness, for letting me take a crap as a non-member. So
Hashtag Planet Fitness. $10 a month.
Does your Planet Fitness every first Tuesday of the month do the Little Caesars pizza in the evening time?
What?
I'm at the low rent one. They have Tootsie Rolls. That's it.
Because every Planet Fitness that I've been to, every first of the month, they get
pizzas?
Little Caesars, or maybe it's Pizza Hut, but there's always pizza there in the evening time. Yeah.
Seriously?
Dead serious. And then every first of the month in the mornings, they have Dunkin' Donuts.
Well, here again, this is the problem. They do not allow you to work out hard enough to be able to eat that.
Right. Yeah.
You can burn 200 calories max, and then you get judged.
When I go there, or when I used to go there, because when I first moved down here, I was looking for a gym, and I didn't want to buy a membership just yet because I was going to be gone for like a month. So I would just gym hop, and it's 2-0 Dallas, just let you guys know. I actually went to Planet Fitness. I would do arms, and I would just, to get my good calorie burn in there, I would just run on the treadmill. Because you can't really do circuits there, so I would run on the treadmill there. So it really is 2-0. I'm not lying to you guys.
That was a great shot from the point. Holy
it says 1-0 on my.
You're a little slow, you're a little slow in all areas, Holland.
I hate everyone right now. I can't believe Edmonton lost.
So
I can't believe they lost. Whatever.
Yeah. Wow, was that? Off the butt, off of Darnell Nurse's butt and into the net.
Well, then you know what? They said that he's like a -12 for the playoffs. It's not
that picture I sent earlier was him blocking a shot on his butt.
Well, this time he did not do that.
Yeah, it pays to do squats, everybody.
It was a fantastic like snipe just inside the bar, but off the butt. 2-0. I mean, Dallas is so deep. On that note, Abdu, who's your team that's in the playoffs so far? I know Bedard's mom has been out of the playoffs, or been out of the whatever, the running.
Honestly, my pick, I really want the Rangers to win. We have really good family friend that plays on the Rangers in the AHL, and he just got recalled up. So it would be cool for him to be part of the Stanley Cup if they win it. I'm a big big Breadman fan. I love Panarin. I
Yeah.
think I would like to see him. In
Show
a
up.
perfect.
You'd like to see him show up for this round of the playoffs? If he wouldn't mind, he could show up and maybe help them some.
Yeah, well, he's not doing too hot. I guess he's never
No.
been shut up.
But like Andy was saying, to me, since probably the second round, it's looked like it was going to be a Dallas versus New York.
In a
Yeah,
perfect
final
world,
the
I'd
whole
love to
way.
have the Oilers. I'd love to have the Oilers and the
New York
Rangers play. But right now, I think honestly, and I think
Edmonton's
Holland and I
not
were
deep
saying this,
enough.
right?
Yeah.
Whoever comes
Yeah.
out of the East is going to win it, hands down.
I mean, you just can't imagine McDavid like not winning a cup at some point, even if he has to
He'd
leave.
have to go to a different team. Yeah, he has to leave.
Yeah.
Who's your pick?
They've
Who's your
got to
pick?
restructure what they're doing there, though. They've got to. I mean, look at what Dallas and New York are built a lot like Vegas was last year. I mean, you go watch out there, and they've got fourth lines contributing heavily to winning games. It's not necessarily they're getting goals, but they're creating, long sustained offensive pressure. And that's exactly what Vegas did last year. That's why Vegas gave Dallas such a fit in the first round. And so it's Vegas is still, I think, that deep. I don't know. They ran up against a little bit better team and probably a little more prepared team in Dallas this year than what Dallas was last year. But that's what New York looks like. That's what Dallas looks like. Edmonton doesn't look like that. I mean, they just don't.
Yeah.
It's Edmonton at least made.
Well, they look like that. They look like that against teams like the Blackhawks.
Yeah, but the Blackhawks barely have a number one line, so
they don't have a team. Ponton, who's your pick? Who do you want to win?
I mean, I was just gonna say, I mean, Dallas. I don't care what line is out there. You never watch them play and say, "Oh, that's their fourth line."
Yeah,
they just keep rolling and rolling and rolling, and they all.
So it looked nothing like our Jacksonville team. Like
we were all fourth liners.
We were all fifth line. We were all fifth line. We were all fifth line.
Did this team bring a number one line? No.
Well, like we said, an A and a C does not equal a B. So.
Oh man.
But Jeremy or Holland rather, I feel like at some point in the last 15 years we should have discussed this more. But you are Red Wings.
Yeah, I've been a Red Wings fan for a long time.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but back in the Dotsuk days and the.
Do you have a permanent team?
Me?
No, well, I know he just said you're a Red Wings. I'm asking Ponton. Does he have?
He's a Pittsburgh fan.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
He's a Penguins fan.
I should have been able to tell with that.
Sid the not so much kid anymore.
Yeah. Sid the middle-aged man.
Yeah. Me and Holland were talking. How did you actually get into hockey? Because you grew up in this area, right?
Yeah. So I was thinking a little bit about this today. So I think it's somewhat entertaining how it started, but I grew up.
Started off as figure skater.
Well, I don't need to say. I mean, yes. Thank you for condensing the whole story.
I don't know what those people are that do those like the little high-speed cone drills where they weave with their feet.
And roll with the rollerblades.
Is that what you started
as,
Andy?
I didn't know either, but when I saw them, I said, "I want to be that."
Oh God!
I'm sorry. No. Go ahead.
I started. I used to ski and stuff. When I lived in Colorado when I was younger, and then I've always ice skated. I'm holding up quotes and roller skated and all that. And so one day, literally, like me and a couple buddies, like we went to Dick's Sporting Goods, I guess, and got some street hockey sticks for fun. And we went to this parking lot in a park and just started like shooting a ball around, whatever. And this guy was there with his son, and they played in a roller hockey league. And so after a while, they're like, "Yeah, you want to go up there and try?" I'm like, "Sure, whatever." And so they played in Macon, Georgia, of all places, at a wooden floor roller skating rink that on Sundays they put up metal boards in the corners, and it became a hockey rink. And so that's actually where I started. And probably a couple years after that, I don't know, Jeremy, did you ever go to Sportstown in Macon for a tournament? Yeah. Okay. Yep. So that's where that's the
big nice one, right?
Yeah.
Is that where you ladies met?
No,
Not
Oh, okay.
officially, but I'm sure we saw each
we
other.
probably crossed paths there, but not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they always took, they had a kids team. The Czechs, like Radek and them, took a
Yep.
team, and then Greg and Gary Bruno and all them, they would take a team. And so I met those guys before I ever came to Savannah. And then when I had the opportunity to come to Savannah, I was like, "Hey, Greg, I'm moving here." He's like, "Cool. You want to go to Vegas with us in 2 weeks?" And I'm like, "Sure." And so that's
Are you self-taught?
pretty much, yeah.
No shit, really.
Yeah, yeah. I never had
Hmm.
any coaching other than
It shows. That part shows. But I was just
hello. Can't hear you. You're breaking up.
must be my Wi-Fi. We've had problems.
Abdu, we know it shows. Refer to last weekend.
Oh,
But
that's
Jeremy
pretty
was on
impressive.
that Vegas team, or excuse me, Holland, and that's where we probably officially met the most. Was that tournament in Vegas?
You and I knew each other before we got to Vegas, though, and I didn't think. Was it really a 2-week turnaround time from the time you moved here until we went out to Vegas?
Yeah, it was not very much time. Now, I moved here. I was commuting and for a few months.
Because I told Abdu, I said, I don't remember exactly, because you were working for Bearings and
Drives.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you had moved from Macon to here, and I knew that you knew of the Super Goose and the guys there from us traveling up to Macon, and a lot of like I said, we had traveled as a kids group, and I think I had been in school. I'd been at Georgia, and then I came back. I don't remember what that was. That must have been like 05, maybe.
04. It was 04.
04. Okay.
Well,
so
I think the banner says 04, but yeah.
Yeah. So I was in school at Georgia 02, 03, and that was right. I'd been back home around 04. So I would have been 20, 21-ish. And I remember, I guess you were commuting, but I thought you were living, or like short-term living, obviously, at the hotel out there near the airport.
Yeah, I was.
Because I was telling Abdu, you and I used to go, like on a Friday night, I'd swing by there and grab you and we would go downtown.
That's right. Yeah.
But I couldn't remember if we were doing that pre-Vegas or post-Vegas.
I thought Vegas was when I had actually moved here, but yeah, I was staying in the hotel during the week for 3 or 4 months before I actually moved. So
yeah, see, I think we were hanging out for a few months because we knew each other pretty well by the time we went out to Vegas. Because I'm trying to think, we were both single when we went to Vegas, weren't we? But we were right around the time of dating people or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'd been here. Yeah. So you'd been here for a few months. I think that sounds right. So
yeah.
But yeah. So you and I had been hanging out, and we'd been playing probably house league and stuff together. And then that was the first big tournament we went and traveled to, was traveling to that. And then we did quite a few tournaments together, actually.
Yeah.
I don't remember it wasn't always traveling with Greg. Like you and I actually ended up getting picked up by the Macon guys one time.
Yep.
Oh, what was his name? Not Jeffrey, the other kid, because you know both of those boys that grew up there. Jacob.
Yeah,
because you knew Jacob and Jeffrey. Yep. And Jacob, I think, reached out to you. We were in Atlanta and played in a tournament with those guys. That tournament was ridiculous. That was nothing but a bunch of studs at that tournament. I remember Jacob looking at me and being like, "You used to be really good." And I was like, "I don't know, man. I think your memory might just be kind of bad there." So, but yeah. So, yeah, I didn't know what your start looked like in hockey. That's pretty interesting. Yeah. And so you actually took a little different path. So we played roller together for quite a while, played a lot of tournaments together. And then I quit playing for about 10 years. And the rink we played at locally here shut down completely. And so for the last, 10 years, you've been traveling?
Going to Jacksonville. Well, for a couple of years, I was going to Charleston on Thursdays, and then Jacksonville on Mondays to play ice every night.
Yeah. And then we got a mutual friend between, actually, Abdu, you know Greg, right? You've met him, haven't you?
Greg who?
Greg Ing. Yeah.
No.
I feel like you would have met him if you were doing the December skates. Was he doing the December skates? Or had he? No, he had moved. He's been moved. I mean, Abdu, how long have you been down here?
Way too long, like 5 years.
5 years.
Greg was
Greg was down in Fernandina by then. Okay. So, yeah, we Andy and I have another mutual friend, Greg, that played on that Vegas team with us. That he was traveling to Jacksonville with you for a while, and you guys were playing together down there. And then even like you just said, he moved to Fernandina, and I think he kept playing in the league along with you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would obviously have a much shorter drive, but
Yeah.
we played together for a few years after he moved, and then
Yeah.
and then he bumped down the league. So I think he's just playing C League now.
Yeah.
How long is the Charleston drive for you?
Charleston is 2 painful hours.
Yeah, it's
Back
about
roads mostly, and
it's
Jacksonville is
backwards.
2 easier hours because it's just straight shot on the interstate.
What
But
was the
it's 2 hours
difference
each
in
way.
the what was the difference in the leagues there? Because I played in Jacksonville, or not Jacksonville. I'm sorry, Charleston when I first moved down here, and I got tired of it because it was like a 2 hour drive there, hour and a half at the rink, maybe 2 hours at the rink, and then it was like it's a full day event, and it was just like too
Yeah,
much,
yeah.
too much.
The thing I liked about Charleston, and you probably saw this, Abdu, is the way they constructed their teams was everybody gets a rating.
Yeah.
And then, like each team gets, I don't know, 2 10s, 2 8s, 2 6s, 5 5s, that type of thing. So even if you are new, and let's just say you're, sandbagging and you're a 10 or whatever, after one season, that will get found out and it will not happen the next season.
Yeah. They
Whereas,
keep the leagues and the teams there pretty even, and they're good at it.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
You could argue that, there are some goalies that are way better than others, and that can make a big difference. But generally speaking, from the skaters, it's fairly par.
But yeah, a lot of the players in the leagues they're pretty competitive too. Like, I don't want to say competitive. They're more like chippy, dirty, I guess is the way to say it. And then it sparks. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It was just a lot of chippy, dirty playing a few times in a couple of games, and those players, the guys that I was on the team with, like, oh yeah, he's got a reputation for that. A lot of guys have a reputation, I guess, is what I'm getting at.
So did you drive by yourself, Abdu?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, that's painful.
It is.
And
So,
actually,
did you have?
when I drove to Jacksonville and Charleston, there was typically at least one person with me. But when I started having to do it by myself, which was the last time was last summer, when I broke my leg.
Don't
what
mean to interrupt.
Broadcast are you watching? Because you're a solid 20 seconds ahead of me.
Oh wow. I'm always I don't mean to interrupt, Ponton. I'm sorry. I was just.
That's a Brendan Robertson goal right there. Hashtag Brendan Robertson.
Picking up the trash.
The puck's just laying there and just tap it in. No big deal.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, the only goals that were scored this weekend were pretty much by him and just tapping it in because it's laying right down in the crease. So,
he didn't score all of them.
Kyler could even scored the goals that he scored. So
pretty much.
To be fair, they were both assisted by me, and they were set up intentionally for you, Andy. And somehow he ended up getting them because you were in the slot both times. You were just tied up with a defenseman.
Man.
I didn't mean to interrupt, Andy. But when you played in Charleston, did you notice it was a little more dirty and aggressive in other leagues?
I wouldn't say that, but the league I was playing in, it was very fast, and I would say very competitive, but there wasn't a lot of time for dirty play. Much like our A League here, I think most of the guys were too busy skating hard. But there are absolutely one or two guys that you get in front of the net and suddenly you're on your back and like what just happened. And I would say more than anything, that was the dirty stuff. You get in front of the net and they're cross-checking you, which in this beer league you don't do that. That's we need to go to work tomorrow morning after we get home at 2 a.m.
Right.
But that would be my one thing that I would say that was different. It's not like I'm bored anyways.
wasn't Dwight wasn't Dwight riding with you to Jacksonville some too?
Yeah, actually, when Greg moved, Dwight was pretty much the constant. Brotka went mostly, but then it dwindled down to just Dwight and I.
And then you and Dwight were kind of the initial. Was it you and Dwight, or was it primarily Dwight that kind of became the initial contacts for getting our league started here?
So it was me initially. I started like organizing the pickups as soon as the ice opened and just getting the word out and trying to tell the ice guys that I knew and the roller guys, because there was no one database of hockey players in Savannah. Because we have, for those that don't know, we have 10 or 11 roller hockey teams that a lot of those guys play ice. Then we have guys who only would come play ice when we would have it in December. And then guys who just hadn't played in forever. And it's like, hey, we have ice now. So I just started getting the word out. And that turned into, hey, we need somebody to run these leagues and organize it. And I'm like, well, A, that's a lot. And B, in the winter, I'm gone a lot snowboarding. And so I said, there's a guy who's willing to do it. He's retired. He's great. And that's when I got Dwight pulled in. So I gave him the director job. So I am firmly assistant to the director.
So then how did Farthead get involved?
So both of us sucked at that job. I don't need to say anything else.
Man. So no, I reached out to Andy probably in September or October of last year. Because I'd kind of heard some rumblings that there were still guys doing roller stuff, and I didn't know anything about the roller league at all. And I had gotten to a spot in my life where I could get back out and play. I'd talked with Sarah about, going back out and playing. And I messaged Andy. He was like, hey, I really want to come try to play again. I heard there's a roller league. And he was like, there is, but it's like, almost over and they don't let you pick up mid-season. And he was like, the guys that run it are, it's a whole different group of guys. They don't know you. So there's no like, if it was the guys that we used to play with, they would have been like, oh, it's Jeremy. Like, yeah, come on. We'll find a team for you. But they're much more structured and regimented and they don't know you. They're not going to make exceptions kind of thing. And so he was like, but also we're about to have ice. And I said, oh, okay. So I went kind of hunting down ice equipment too. Cause like I said, all of my roller and ice equipment was completely destroyed. And so I ended up signing up to play roller in that second league and got drafted onto a team. And then I think ice pickup had started. And so I went out a couple times with Andy, and then Andy had said, like, we're going to have a league. We're going to have a league. We're going to have a league. And so it was like January before we actually finally got stuff going. And Andy had he and I just kind of reconnected, started talking more. And he had said, hey, look, we're going to have a big eval day, basically, where we try to sort out where everybody needs to go. And I knew that it was just him and Dwight kind of doing all. I said, do you want to hand evaluating guys? Because I had grown up coaching and so I was familiar with evaluations and all. And I said, hey, I'll come give you a hand doing evals if you want to. He was like, yeah, that'd be great. So me and, I don't know, it was 3 other guys. I know Dacus was there. Kenny was there.
Yeah, Dacus, I forgot.
Yeah, I forget. I think that was about it. It was you, me,
So did
Dwight,
you know Dwight?
Dacus.
Or did you
No, I didn't know. I didn't know Dwight. I knew Dacus a little bit from pickups and from roller hockey. And Dacus and Andy were playing. Thank you. Had
2-2.
That's okay. Andy and Dacus played on the same roller team, so I'd kind of gotten to know Dacus through that a little bit. And I didn't know Dwight. And I didn't know Kenny. But again, like we've said a bunch of times, the hockey community is the hockey community here.
Mm-hmm.
And so if guys recognize like, hey, this guy's played some hockey before, you're not just a noob walking out there with brand new equipment. Most of the guys are really accepting of you. And that's exactly
what most noobs do.
Yeah. And so the guys were really accepting of me. And so we jumped in. I helped do the eval. We went over to pizza place, had pizza, and set up all the teams. And basically, we did. I mean, it was the easiest place to walk to set up and do it. And so I don't really know how I got involved doing the admin side of it other than I helped out then and it just kind of stuck. And I don't know if I just became a point person that people were asking questions to, or what. And it's like you said, you were gone, Andy. So you were in and out a bunch that very first season. And so it was kind of like just Dwight and I. And so, and I think that's kind of how I ended up attached onto it. And then obviously when we rolled into this second year, you, me, and Dwight all communicated and said, all right, here's what we're going to do. So somewhere along in that first year, I just kind of got adopted in as an admin. I don't know exactly how, other than volunteering.
Well, I think the other thing that happened, and I don't remember the exact numbers, but this is obviously brand new. We've never had a league here in Savannah, and a week or two before the season started, we had, let's just say, like 100 guys signed up.
Oh yeah,
and then nuts. All of a sudden the word got out, and suddenly we had like 180 guys.
Yeah.
And what really helped, I think, Jeremy, with you is you either filled in a bunch or on in the C League. I
ended up sitting around the C League a lot that first year, and I don't know why I was doing that. I can't really remember. I just know
it was because you had a crush on me and you were my groupie.
Well, I think you and I, and I think all three of us were there the very first week. And so I think I just kept going to make sure it was running smooth. I know what it was. We were trying to watch the teams to see if we needed to make any movement.
The first few weeks.
I think I knew a couple of the guys from the little BLPA tournament was then in February. And so we kind of got a feel for who people were. And there were some questions about move this guy, move that guy. So I think I was kind of, babysitting that league, for lack of a better term, just kind of keeping an eye on guys and seeing where we needed to move people. So somehow I ended up, I guess because of that, I ended up the guy that a lot of C League guys were coming to with questions. And that kind of, bore itself out this second year, because basically I admin the C League almost exclusively. So yeah. So that's it. So, but no, I had never met Dwight, never met any of those guys before. So was it Marvin that reached out to you, or was it Eddie that reached out to you to let you know, like, hey, we're going to have ice. Hey, we want to run a league.
Eddie did.
Okay.
Now, how he got my contact info, I cannot remember to save my life. Probably, it may have been Marvin that told him that I was organizing pickups and just getting the word out.
Yeah.
And that's probably how it happened. I cannot remember exactly right now, but I had a phone call with Eddie, and Eddie's the head guy from Jacksonville that's kind of over both these programs, and we had a couple conversations, and that's when I was like, hey, I'll do anything I possibly can, but when I'm gone every other week for a month and a half, it's not gonna
hard to do it. Yeah,
it's hard to do.
Yeah. So what do you? I mean, I know what I want hockey to look like around here. What are your goals and aspirations for men's adult? Probably not just men's, but what do you want hockey to look like around here?
I think the big thing that really we don't have right now is, and somehow the roller hockey league has it, is we don't really have a community in that after games there's a place to hang out, have a beer. The whole league, right now we have 3 different divisions, next season possibly 4. Those guys never see each other because you're exclusively playing on different nights. So hopefully once the new building is put together and we have, the bar and grill, and there's 2 sheets, and, potentially you would have, C League going on in one rink and A League going on the other, and the guys who know each other after the game can all get together and, just shoot shit. That's what I would like to see. And also, I think the kids you'd have some more kids coming watching games, and they would come up and learn to love the game, which is important, but that's the thing that, for example, right now, like, unless I specifically go to the rink on Thursday, I don't see Abdu. I play on Mondays and Tuesdays. He plays on Thursdays.
Yeah.
So that's what I would like to see a little bit more.
We could always FaceTime. I mean, if you want to see, we could always FaceTime.
We do.
You are a very loyal OnlyFans. My OnlyFans. You're actually my only fan.
Only customer. That's why it's called OnlyFans. It's only fan.
I've always thought it was only fan, and you could have one person, then whoever pays the most is that person.
No, but I get what you're saying, because I never see Rossi. I only see him in passing on Thursdays because he coaches, and then he goes.
I'll be right back, boys. Keep going. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Sorry, my dogs are going nuts.
That's all right. We don't need you anyways.
Well, Abdi, like in Chicago, like when you played, like what was it like there as far as the community and interaction?
It's different, like because our games are so late, and a lot of them are during when I played. Some of them are during the weekdays, so it's like everyone just wants to go home,
True.
go to bed. When you play on the weekends, I, it depends. Some like Marola and Wilkie and some of the guys, they would we would all go to Chelios's pub, but it's different. It's kind of like what we do here. Like after the game, we'll all walk over to Hitch, go to Hitch, but not. Some people like to go home. Some people like to hang out.
It's not the whole crew. It was more
summer
of
times summer times are different because then the games are early, like 3, 5, and 6, and then everyone's out in the parking lot because the weather's nice.
Yeah.
The roller league guys definitely have a lot of. It is a big community. We had Hunter Byram on several weeks ago, and that was one of the things he said he really liked about the league was that he was like, with the exception of basically a handful of guys, he was like, basically any guy out there he could hang out and have a beer with. And that's exactly, and I get it. That's what Grinny and those guys harp on about. It's why they do their draft stuff the way they do it, so that you can have a lot of play with the different guys. You can have a lot of camaraderie amongst the whole community. And it really is like a nice big community. And I agree with you. We don't have that. It is a good community in the A League. I think a lot of the A League guys know each other, and they enjoy spending time and hanging out. And so you'll have, a handful of guys that usually stay around from A League. Same thing with C League. You'll have a few guys that stay around with C League. Same thing with the 40+ guys. The 40+ guys like to hang out and stuff like that. And so, but it's kind of like you described. It's like pockets. And so, this coming up season, the C League's been split. So you're going to have, teams that were in the C League last year that are now going to be, just half the roster is going to be in B League, half the roster is going to be in C League. And so one of the things that's kind of coming a little bit is we're allowing some movement between divisions. So the idea of having a couple of A League guys drop to play on a B League team, same kind of thing, a couple of B League guys drop to play on a C League team. So you're going to have some crossover between leagues that really hadn't been happening a lot. And so I think that'll help foster a little bit of that. And you'll get, you'll get guys that are on the C League team that will meet new guys in C League and meet some new guys in B League by virtue of playing in both leagues, kind of thing. And so that'll start to develop. But I think the real like kick in the pants for the ice stuff, especially this year, the very first season, I felt like there was a ton of like hanging out in the locker rooms. And again, it's way different than what's going on at Lake Mayer, because at Lake Mayer, everybody can sit around their trucks or whatever, and you can all sit together. Versus the Civic Center, we're all sitting in individual locker rooms, right? Mm-hmm. And so, the other team can come in your locker room and hang out, or you can go in theirs, and that's hit or miss sometimes. But if there was a common place to gather, kind of like what Jacksonville has with the nice, like the bar, restaurant, and all, like that lobby area, like that's where you can really then begin to kind of hang out and all. And so, the Civic Center shutting down the alcohol in the building, I think that killed a lot of it. A lot of people are like, all right, well, if I can't hang in the locker room here, like get undressed and just hang out, which is what they do at Lake Mayer for the roller league. Just get undressed and hang out. And so when that kind of got taken off the table and everybody was like, well, let's go to the parking lot. Well, that's where you started losing guys. Once guys walked out the door, they were like, I think I'm just going to go. And so that's a bummer. So hopefully the new facility will kind of have that common area, even if you're not hanging out, drinking a beer, whatever. If it's got the bar restaurant thing, it'd be easy enough to hang out there, grab a quick bite to eat or something. I'm sure they'll have a snack bar and stuff, very similar to what Jacksonville's got. So just a different facility, I think, will help out with some of that. But like what you guys were saying too, you got two different leagues playing on two different sheets of ice. You bring kids in there that have interest in it. They're seeing their parents play. You get more of an audience that's in there that's excited. I know you've talked a lot about like the Bevy League down in Jacksonville have these like super fans that come in with jerseys and all. And our C League has a little bit of that. There's some super fans for a couple of the teams that come in with their jerseys and all, and they're wild. We see you Ice Hogs boys, and you're rowdy
A-League fans.
You're rowdy. the Ice Hogs fans to this day are the only fans I've had to that I've had to actually physically escort out of the building as an admin.
What the heck is he doing?
His cat. I thought my dogs were bad. It's Godzilla.
If you happen to be watching the video, this is Lucy.
Oh, that's good.
The other thing that Lucy,
it's so cute. It's so cute.
You can stay right there.
The softer side of Ponton when he's not yelling at people on the ice. He's got a little.
It's just encouragement. The other thing that I really want to see, and Lucy, with our limited ice time, I mean, okay, sorry guys.
Just throw the cat.
And then we're gonna get PETA after us for animal abuse.
Exactly.
You can hear pictures are going all over the
you
place.
On video abusing your cat.
Oh no! I was just throwing her to hit that ride symbol behind me. That was all.
I just wanted to prove that it lands on its feet, no matter how many times I twirl it in the air.
But the other thing that I really want to see, and I think people really enjoy it, is one of two things: either doing Rink of Dreams at Enmark Arena. You go, you put a team in, you play, you get a ticket to the Ghost Pirates game afterwards, and it's just a fun thing. You get a group of guys, do that, you get some dinner, go to the Ghost Pirates game, and also doing our all-star games for each league on our sheet of ice. Unfortunately, we could do one this past season between the two seasons.
Yeah, the timing sucks right now, and Marvin and I have been messaging a little bit. And while we were in Jacksonville, I talked with him briefly about that too. But yeah, Marvin, for those of you that listen that don't know, Marvin is the rink administrator. And so he's the one that basically manages literally everything going on in the Jacksonville rink, but he also manages the Civic Center when he's here. And potentially maybe managing the new place. I don't know if they've got all that management stuff sorted out just yet because it's not even built. But yeah, he's trying to sort out the schedule now, given that we're going to have 4 leagues instead of 3 leagues. And he was asking questions about the turnaround time because I'm a big advocate of let's not guarantee, these 2 playoff game things because basically one of them means something and one of them means nothing for a handful of teams. And I was like, let's just get rid of them. But it seems like the powers that be in Jacksonville kind of want to keep that format and going. And so that makes it difficult for schedule. And that's what made it difficult for our schedule this time was we had basically for us to work through our playoffs takes us 2 weeks plus an extra day. And so there's adding another league is going to be the exact same thing. It's going to take 2 weeks plus a day. Marvin's thinking he can squeeze it into like a week and a half. But it means he's probably going to have to work. Well, he's going to have to start. We're going to have to basically, if 40 plus days with 4 teams, the third slot's going to be some kind of playoff game on a Monday potentially. And then we're going to have games on Sundays that are going to be your C League. That's potentially 4 teams. And so what Marvin's saying is basically the first Sunday is probably going to end up being like multiple playoff games that Sunday as well. So yeah, it's going to be a little chaotic. I have a feel.
I did like when you guys had all the championship games on the same day. I liked it a lot.
It was neat to be able to come and watch it, but I did get some feedback from different people that it was tough because their whole schedule was set up for like if I play on Mondays, I play on Mondays. If I play on Tuesdays, play on Thursdays. That when we switched it to Sundays and we started running into a little bit of interference with whether it was scheduling interference with other things trying to squeeze into the end of the year, whether it was the roller hockey guys' schedule because their stuff is all on Sundays too. We did start getting some feedback from several teams that was like, "Hey, it's kind of tough that you moved it onto this Sunday. Like I can't skate much later than the 5 o'clock time you've given me, or like Sunday is my day for these other things." And now, so it is. The schedule is going to keep moving until we kind of get settled into our own rink, our own facility, all that. And
the captains have the schedule; they send it out to the players. Look, guys, just to let you know, if we win this game, we might be playing on Sunday. So suck it up, Spikes, and just play the damn game.
So I have a very important question, Abdu, I think you're the most qualified to answer it.
Oh shit!
Jeremy,
I hate these so much. All right,
you also probably have some insight. Why in the world do none of the C League guys shower in the locker rooms?
We've had this conversation, Abdu and I.
You know
It's
what?
really, really weird.
We
So it's not none of them. Some of them do, but it's a very, very few.
I don't. I had a bad. This is going to sound really weird, but I had a really bad experience. I had a really bad experience in the shower. Not like what you guys think.
Can we fill in the blanks?
Go right ahead. Actually, I fell down in the shower at one of the rinks and split my head open. And then since then, I'm like, I'm never going in the shower again. Yeah.
The floors here are like sandpaper with rocks in it. You're not going to slip.
It's kind of like after my hockey accident, I really don't play against the boards. I really don't go into the corners. It's just something that I used to shower and I just haven't since that moment. Yeah.
Sorry.
So
I'm glad you guys think it's funny that I'm glad my pain and when I split my head open is funny to you guys.
One time I fell in the shower.
Yeah,
I'm never bathing. I'm never bathing again.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
And
when you shower at home, do you like go in the shower and sit down?
He's got a handicap seat in the shower stall. We can get you one. I'll buy one. I'll buy one and I'll bring one for the showers here. At
so I think, and honestly, real, all BS aside, other than when I fell, and you guys think that's funny. I think a lot of the C League players don't shower because I think a showering thing is like when you played competitive level, like a lot of junior teams, a lot of competitive level players have always showered, are used to doing a group environment shower. People like. The hockey camp legend just started playing. I'm sure
he's going to start naming names. What are we doing here?
I'm sure. Like,
so I don't know all the. I mean, even the 40+. I had guys on my 40+ team that bailed out of there and didn't shower. It's kind of. I thought that was kind of. Abdu's correct. Like, I don't remember having like team showers probably until I got to the high school level, definitely in the collegiate level,
high school, juniors.
But even
college.
It wasn't even like high school. It was like competitive. So when I was playing travel, high school level, that's when we started, having showers, bringing a towel, showering, things like that. When I was younger than that, it wasn't all of that, but definitely college. Like that was the first, college was the first time I got like a full blown dose of like, we were in a giant stall. There were like 30 shower heads in a big room, and like our whole team's in there all at one time. So like that was when it got real fast. And so, so that's, I'm very accustomed to that, used to that. I guess that's some of it. I don't know. I'm wondering if some people aren't just a little weird about like,
well, that's my question to you.
Being naked in the locker room.
That's my question to you. Why do you care if people shower or not? Like, is there?
Oh, listen, I mean, because
to each their own. No, again, like you said in the text, hockey's for everybody.
Andy can't compare hogs in his dreams if he can't see them. If he can't see them, he's got to see them before he can compare them.
Listen, I have to shower with Radek, all right?
But
nothing else needs to be said.
There's individual stalls, Andy. You don't have to shower with him. Come on. Don't talk. You're bringing your personal preferences into the podcast here.
Oh, so Mr. Jeremy Holland, I can reach my back. Come on now.
Well, he's only like 188 pounds. He doesn't work out, so he's not like stiff.
I have spider arms.
Actually, true story. Holland did work out yesterday, and he did a great job.
I saw those screenshots you sent me.
Solid. No, seriously. As a trainer, he did really good. He was sore, but my favorite part is, Holland's one to let you know, like, hey, look, you're slow on the ice. You may have had a motorcycle accident, but I have to adjust to your speed. Your shot that you just had was a complete muffin. He's very good at letting me drive home with my radio off after a game. So yesterday, it was just, I kept on saying, I don't know how many times I said this, the abuse is free. It's like, oh, so we're just jogging now. Oh, now we're speed walking? I thought we were doing sprints here. Okay, keep on going, sprint. Oh no, or just walk. Just go ahead and walk.
Mind you, he doesn't bring, I mean, he was picking most, like almost the entire time. So he was watching me on FaceTime, and I had my earbud in, so he could talk to me in real time about, hey, if you're backpedal differently, or move your arms, stuff like that. And so most of it was encouraging stuff, but there was a bunch of ribbon in there too. But the very last one, like, he knew I was gassed, and it was a circuit where I ran whatever I did. I ran it one time down and back, right? Rested for 60 seconds or so, and then the second time was a down and back. So it was a two-time circuit.
Jump squat,
Yeah.
like a lot of
And
explosive movement.
so the last one, he was like, hey, you're going to do this the third time. He's like, this will be the last one. He's like, but here's the deal. You got to go down and back 3 times, basically. And so it was rapid fire, go down, do squats, whatever, come out. It was varying squats. And so the third run was just a straight sprint. And I told him afterwards, I was like, I took off, and I was like, oh no. Like, when I go to stop at the end of this 60-yard sprint, like, my quads were on fire. I was like, they're just going to buckle, and I'm going to fall in the middle of the road. And so it was really self-preservation that I slowed up. So at the 30-yard mark, I start realizing, like, I got to kind of like start slowing down now. And immediately I hear, okay, well, I mean, it can just be a jog if you want to jog. And I said, screw you.
He did.
I was dying. Once I knew I could come back, I sprinted a little harder all the way back. But I was like, I hate you so much. Like, why are you pulling this out now that you can clearly see that I am just absolutely spent? So yeah, it was awful. I felt terrible afterwards. He's asked me 20 times today, are you hurt? Like, are you hurt? Please tell me you're actually hurt. I'm like, no, I'm just really sore. Are you just not going to tell me that you're hurt and you're really hurt? I'm like, Abdu, I'm not
let's explain
hurt.
why. Let's explain why on that.
Go ahead.
So there was Holland just started running, and I was like, I'm all for whatever. Like, as long as you're working on, I'm all for it. But he was just doing 3-mile runs, and then he's like, yeah, my knee was really hurting, and I didn't want to tell you and give you the satisfaction of letting you know that my knee was hurt. So that's why I'm asking. That's fair.
Was that the first one?
Yeah.
The
keep
first
on
run?
that ice
Oh,
in the
yeah.
microphone too, in my ear.
So Abdu,
Yeah.
from your experience, if there was a person, I look at beer league hockey players. There's
In the locker room. I look at beer league hockey players ... in the locker room. Wonder why they don't shower.
It's not like there's any other reason
Shower.
to be in there.
Yeah, okay, cool.
But if you're a beer league hockey player, I put them in 2 bunches. There's the guys who they go out there, they play whatever, they go home. And then there's the guys who want to be as good as they can be. They want to play well, they want to score goals, they want to make plays, whatever. If there's a person and they say, hey, I have 20 minutes to do a workout, I want it to help my hockey playing, or 30 minutes, we won't make it crazy low. What would be like 2 of the best things you could do in that 20 or 30 minutes to help with your skating? Maybe your, pretty much that's the thing. You're not going to help your stick handling, but what would you recommend?
I would recommend that they reach out to me. Then they go ahead.
My OnlyFans is Jeremy.
They go ahead and sign up with a training session with me. We'll talk dollar signs. So,
do you think that's an attainable goal? They say, "Hey, I have 20 minutes 4 times a week. Can I get better?"
I'm gonna just use Farthead as an example because
I was going to say that would probably be good because we talked about timing yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna use Holland as an example. He's really been good for plugging me. Like he's been a billboard for as helping people, like helping him lose weight. And snowballed into like Rossi's reached out to me. Other people reached out to me. He started doing running on his own. He's like, I just got to get my cardio up, so when I do play in Jacksonville, I don't just play like a bag of dicks, So I said that's fine.
The other thing too was when I was playing when our league was still running and I was dieting, I was getting regular exercise through hockey 2-3 times a week, and so I had told you like, hey, my weight loss didn't plateau, but it wasn't dropping like it had been dropping, and I didn't feel as good. And so I was like, I've got to replace what I was doing playing hockey 3 times a week.
So he was just going,
something. So that was like the 3-mile run phase.
He was just going for a 3-mile run, and then he played in Jacksonville, and he's like, you know what, Abdu, we got to seriously start talking because those 3 miles runs were good, but I just didn't feel quick enough as I
I
lost a step.
I didn't feel
Andy was
explosive.
just out skating me, like
I didn't feel explosive. Like I had
So
a hard time. Yeah.
That's what brought us to what we did yesterday. So I had a really explosive circuit. And I tell anyone this, anyone can just go to the gym and lift weights. That's great. I'm all for it too, because you're bettering yourself. But anyone can just go outside and run. But when you run 3 miles, you're actually training yourself to be slow. Because
Yeah.
when you're running for a marathon, you're not running for speed, you're running for distance. When you're playing hockey or football, I guess even basketball, you're playing for sprint time. Like in football, I told Holland this yesterday. Football, you're going balls to the wall in that 30 seconds until the ball is to the next play. Then you got to regroup, catch your breath, and then go for the next play. Just like hockey, you're out there for a minute and then you got to rest. A 3-mile run is not really going to help you with that. And just hitting the weights, that's great for strength, but that's not building up. You have like fast twitch fibers and slow twitch. So then what we did with Holland yesterday, I'm only going to say a little bit of what we did. I don't want to give out everything. Reach out to me if you want to pay for training. So you're going to go for what we did for one of them is I had him measure out 60 feet and then actually 30 feet and then 60 feet. He'd sprint, do jump squats, run backwards, do a shuffle to the right or to the left, and run back. He would do that once, then we would do it 2 times, but he would do get in almost like a split squat stance, so he's taking off with his front foot, make it explosive. And his time, because we did it like 6 times, but I would add more circuits to it, like add more rounds to it. His time, the first run, I'm not going to tell the real time. I'm just going to say it was like 1.5 minutes. And then as we added more to it, his time actually got shorter. He got faster. And on top of that, I'm a big fan because of this. His heart rate got up really high and then it dropped. What we're trying to do is emulate exactly what a hockey shift is, where your heart rate spikes, then it drops. And you noticed that it did too.
Yeah, and we were watching it specifically, and that's why, like, part of what Abdu's saying too is like if you give all the specifics of what we're doing, like you and I are working on a couple of really key areas. Because I said, like, hey, one of the things that bothered me, we played that really good team in the second game, and I was chasing some of those guys, and I could tell my legs were fatigued, even though I was breathing fine. Like my heart rate wasn't way like through the roof. My legs just didn't want to let me skate at the pace that I wanted to skate. And so I told him, I was like, I got a little bit of issue with some explosion. I feel like I need to work on some of that. I said, but the other thing I've noticed that I don't have the energy for is stop start. Like on ice, you have the ability to hit the brakes and move the other direction. And I said, right. I just don't have that. Since I've been back, it's just not there. Now, again, I laid out of hockey for 10, 11 years. So it would make sense that I don't have that. And I just don't do a lot of suicide drills, going and playing in beer league. So I would like to get that back, because I did have that. When I was younger, I was quicker, and that was one of the big things that I could do. And so I told him, I said, look, these are some specific things I want to do. So everything we did yesterday, there was a lot of stop start movement in there. And so, and a lot of transitional movement in there. And too. So every drill we were doing had some sort of stop start, but we spent an hour running, and it wasn't like it was like, hey, do one circuit. All right, let's wait 15 minutes and start the next one. I mean, at most we were having 2-minute breaks between things. And that was just
like a hockey shift on the bench.
Yeah. And it was the only time it was a longer break was if we had, like, if my heart rate rose up to 160, Abdu was like, hey, we want to get it back down to a certain rate before we go to the next one. We want you self-regulating. And a lot of that
recovery.
was him.
His recovery was like
slow.
7 minutes later, where's your heart rate at? It's still at 150. Dude, it's been 20 minutes. Like the Zamboni is going in between games now. We're waiting. What's it at now? It's actually increasing. It's increasing because I'm getting so mad at you. Your ball busting is pissing me off, Abdu.
Stop making me talk to you so my heart can relax.
Well, here's the other thing.
So it was.
I told Hans, like, I don't know if I have time to go to the gym. What we worked on is a lot of quad and
body
explosive
weight
movement. Yeah, a lot of body movement. He does. You don't need a gym. And the stuff that we worked on yesterday, if he can just do it, maybe four times a week would be great. We did talk about maybe him doing some circuit stuff with me with weights. But the thing is, I would want him to work out with me just so again, having a partner work out and do a circuit with you kind of brings out a competitive edge too.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the problem with that is I'm way past like the the toothpick and the ear, like I'm way past that kind of weight, like the Q-tips. To him, he's going to be sore using those.
I'll have to re-rack
pens
all
and
your
pencils.
weights.
Pens and pencils.
We'll have to take up 2 benches so that I can keep pace.
I would love to watch you like your very first workout. Work out with Coach, like doing a bench. And he's like, all right, well, I usually bench, 310. So here's what we'll do. We'll just put on all the 10-pound plates on to equal up. And then we'll take off the 10-pound plates for Holland.
Hey, I would love to see Cooch do a clean and jerk, though. I would love to
correct.
see it.
We did talk about that. And I said, Coach, you got to do like cleans. I sent him a circuit, like the same circuit that I showed you. And he goes, screw that. That's not for me. I'm going to be burning too many calories and I'm going to, lose my third belly button penis that I got going on here, So,
well, I mean,
but yeah,
Jeremy,
but that's the thing.
Do CrossFit and Super Goose.
Yeah.
Me and Greg, we were beasts on the ice.
That's the difference. Different kind of workout. You have a bodybuilding workout, which is target training, back day, arm day, leg day. I do that too, but I also make sure I implement a 45-minute circuit as well. I get the best of both worlds, and I also do a little bit of cardio on the treadmill. But when I do it, I'm not running distance. I'm running like sprints, and then I'm right in front of me too.
Plus, you're running on a treadmill, which is basically cheating.
I've been doing the
whatever. It's a machine. It's cheating, but that's fine. It's a cheater.
Well,
I can't wait.
You rarely see a hockey player that's like jacked up top, because the other thing is all that muscle needs to be fed, and it's taking oxygen that you should be having in your core and your legs.
Right. Yes. And if you look at a hockey player's legs, they're like tree trunks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they train just like football players. If you watch what college football players do, they are just going explosive, fast movement, because that's what they do in a football play. It's not just like I'm going to curl for a certain number of sets. They're benching 225, 25, 30 times, but it's in like less than a minute as well. So sorry I gave you such a long answer, but that's exactly what you want to do.
So the answer is no, 20 minutes won't do anything. Just drink beer and forget about it.
Some people are that. The workout thing at our age, I think, is not for everybody for sure, because again, that's why they call it beer league. There's just some people that just want to go out and have a good time, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's 100%. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we've had this conversation too. When we talked about the diet and stuff. We did a whole podcast on that, and it's not like I'm eating to be, because there's a scout, or I'm exercising because there's a scout. It's just I having played higher level competitive hockey, it's frustrating to me to say, hey, I kind of remember where I was at. And so a lot of the ability, as far as the way I can see the ice, the way my hands work with the puck and things like that, my movement, all of that is kind of coming back. I mean, there's still some things that are coming back. You take 10 years off, you skate for, 9 months. It's not just magically all back there. But the big piece that I've noticed, and Andy, I mean, you knew this when I was younger, I was very fast. And so I never had an issue with getting out skated by anybody.
Humble brag.
Well, I mean, Andy knew me, and Andy knew. I mean, I never had an issue with getting out skated. That was never a problem for me. And so that's a big problem for me right now, is there are guys that can out skate me, no problem. And it's not like they're 20-year-old guys running past me. They're guys that are within 5 years of my age right now. And so usually, and so I'm saying, hey, I can kind of recognize 10 years off. There's some atrophy is not the right word, but there's some muscle loss that's happened in my legs that I'd like to kind of gain back. I'm not, intending on saying, well, I'm going to, work outside, get as big as Cooch or whatever. That's not what we're trying to do here.
Right.
But if I can make it to where I can skate a little easier, back the way I used to be able to skate, then I'm all for that. Again, I'm well aware at our age, it's going to take a minute to kind of get to those results. But yeah, it's
at our age, no matter how much we work out, we're not going to be able to compete with a 21, 22-year-old at the same level.
It spills over to life too.
Yeah.
Correct.
You are being healthier for every day.
Yeah.
And you're a gym guy. You're a gym guy, Ponton, so you understand and you get it. And I feel like it's something you're going to do, not just because of hockey, but it's just a part of your life, right?
Yeah.
So again, the working out stuff isn't for everybody.
I mean, you want to be
people at it. Yeah,
you want to be a professional loser for the rest of your life. That's fine. Be a professional loser for the rest of your life.
Just suck. Congratulations, you win.
As my 14-year-old tells me quite often, sucks to suck, Dad.
So you said you're 45. Really quick, because this is our Dumpin' Skate's longest podcast. You're 45.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Asleep.
Well, I wanted to be asleep, but you guys said, "Hey, I'm not going to get home till 7:30."
Everybody, we're recording this at 7 p.m. By the way,
it is not. It is. What time is it?
9:51.
So, anyways, Ponton, you're 45 years old, and you've talked to me several hours, weeks, and months about working out and stuff. What do you want to improve on?
I think a lot of what Holland just said is, I want to build my explosiveness, and with hockey, that first 3 strides is what really A, gets you away from the other person, and B, that's where you build your speed, and then you can not coast, but maintain your speed after that point. And just like Jeremy said, I mean, he took 10 years off. I've had 2 major injuries in the last 3 years. And that's what I really want to focus on at this point is, generally getting back in shape, but also just getting that explosiveness where, if I'm at a dead stop, I can take 3 strides and I can pull away from the guy who's trying to take my arm off. And
the Jacksonville game, attorney, you saw like how I'm just a big fan of like reading your heart rate. You saw that was like I was really into that. And the second game that we played, your heart rate was only 150. And I said, you're not working hard enough. But you said, I felt like I am. Then the third game, your heart rate was what, like 180, right?
It got up to 181, yeah.
Yeah. So you could, and I said, hey, did you notice that you were just working a little bit harder? Like, yeah. So you can tell just by reading a heart rate monitor, that shows your intensity of level of play versus 150 and 181.
Yeah. And also the good thing is also the recovery. You could see the sharp spike that gets up to 170, 180, but also the recovery was quick. Generally speaking.
You wanted to drop down. You don't want to go in an angle. Yeah. We'll talk more about that too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, this has been almost an hour and 15-minute podcast. And for the record, Holland didn't do a heck of a lot of talking. It was all Ponton. I'm blaming Ponton.
Listen, I tried. I know this is a podcast made for people to put on while they sleep, but if they wake up, they need to hear something.
I have a feeling that this is going to be our highest rated, most listened to, just because you put it on a loop.
I was going to say this is going to have you sleep apnea.
Put it on repeat.
Spotify,
this podcast,
we have 100 million views.
Yeah, this podcast has been listened to 400 times in the last.
Well, that first night, I walked downstairs because I was bored and I needed someone to play with, and I went
heard
downstairs.
The thing playing.
Yeah, and I thought it was. I couldn't listen. I was trying to see what it said, and some voice was like, "Andy, you are the best player. You are great. Andy, you are a hockey god."
Andy. I have to see. There was a band a few years ago, and I believe they put out an album, quotation marks, that was Silence, and it went viral because they said, "Hey, people, just put it on at night. Doesn't matter." And they got 10 million views on their album and got paid and made money.
Really?
A record of Silence
for nothing.
For the record, everyone, Andy wasn't really listening to like those You're the Best. He was actually listening to
Pornhub.
classic Britney Spears. I'm not a girl, not yet a woman.
I have a playlist of Abdu's OnlyFans videos, and they just loop
Yeah, it
over
is,
and over.
It
Yeah,
is
but Abdu's
1970s
OnlyFans is a
disco.
silent film.
It's white noise. It's just
Oh man.
it's literally 5 seconds of.
I mean, being most of your videos, you clipping your toenails, you just hear little, and every once in a while you hear the toenail fly off and like hit something.
Hit
That's
the
what-
floor.
Ding.
That wakes me up.
Gosh. Oh man. Andy, thanks for being on with us, buddy.
Yeah.
We'll get this posted another day or so. We're trying to roll it. We got a couple of them we got to still roll out and also, but appreciate you jumping on, and we'll see you again really soon here. So
Yeah, boys. Nashville is just a few weeks away, so let's.
Yeah, I'll see you on Wednesday. I'll see you in a week.
oh yeah, we
Yep.
got to get together in a week. So we'll see you then. So all right, buddy. Thanks for coming on. We'll see you.
Watch our
All right, later.
watch our last social media post. You're gonna like it.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out and get this
Watch it
posted
right
as
now.
well.
All right, leave now. I'm tired of you.
Yeah.
See ya. Oh man, that was good fun.
Guarantee you, if you're sticking with us now, thank you. You are a loyal fan. If you're sticking with us this long, you are a loyal fan, and
Stupid.
we will we'll have I'll give you a label. I'll tell you what, if you made it this far, say Abdu,
Just
give me a
send you
label. Just say
Yeah.
Abdu, give me a label. That way I'll know you listen to it, and I'll have a sticker for you. It's not much, but damn it, it's something. All right.
Oh man.
So if you made it this far, Abdu, give me a sticker,
Dude,
or
have to give
Holland,
me-
or Holland, or
Yeah,
Holland.
either
give me a
one of
sticker.
us.
Yeah.
Wait, we
So-
should come up with a better catchphrase than that. No, that's
All
a good
right.
enough one, I guess. That's good.
No.
No, we're gonna
How
waste
about
more
this?
time.
You guys are gonna say icky, icky, give me the sticky, and that way we'll give you the sticker. If you say that, me and Holland will
You-
give you a sticker. But
you
we
have
will
to
know.
comment. You have to comment in the comments.
We know that you guys hung this far, and God bless you. Thank you so much for listening to this so much. But if you say icky, icky, give me the sticky, we'll give you. You'll get a high.
Oh,
You'll probably get a
man.
hug from us too. For making
You
it
might
this
get a
far.
hug while we're in the showers at the C League.
All right, Zach, I got your
gosh.
sticker. I know you listen. Sprints, I know you listen.
Sprints, we'll just go ahead and have one with your name on it.
Oh, Fran Zone, you'll have one too.
Fran Zone, his wife listens to. We'll have to ship them too. And then Teachy's been.
Oh no, we'll give them to him when we're in
very
Nashville.
loyal.
We'll see Fran
Oh,
Zone
yeah,
when we're in
yeah, yeah.
Nashville. I'm done
Teachy's
talking
been
to you too.
Teachy's been an
I'm getting bags under my eyes for Sunday. Just I gotta catch up from sleep.
You're not going to make it to Wednesday night's meet up because you'll be so tired for the night.
Where's Abdu? He
man,
said
a
he's
week
giving
from
us
now.
all our
He's still asleep from last Wednesday. Holy crap. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We appreciate and love all you guys. Peace.
Bye, icky, icky.